Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? If you lawfully voted only in a local election where non-citizens are eligible to vote, you may answer no. Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States? Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return, or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world? Advocated any of the following, or been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any group anywhere in the world that advocated any of the following: opposition to all organized government, world communism, the establishment in the United States of a totalitarian dictatorship, the overthrow by force or violence or other unconstitutional means of the government of the United States or all forms of law, the unlawful assaulting or killing of any officer or officers of the government of the United States or of any other organized government because of their official character, the unlawful damage, injury, or destruction of property, or sabotage. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property? Engaged in kidnapping, assassination, or hijacking, or sabotage of an airplane, ship, vehicle, or other mode of transportation. Threatened, attempted, conspired, prepared, planned, advocated for, or incited others to commit any of the acts listed in items numbers 6A or 6B.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo te está yendo con la nueva N400? Si te gustaría tener una clase en inglés y en español en nuestro curso, tenemos varias clases que te pueden ayudar en tu preparación para la entrevista completa, pero sobre todo en esta nueva N400. Solo visita nuestra página cursosconfernando.com y adquiere el mejor curso para prepararte para tu entrevista de ciudadanía. Muy bien, sigamos con la práctica del día de hoy.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in any of the following: torture, genocide, killing or trying to kill any person, intentionally and severely injuring or trying to injure any person, any kind of sexual contact or activity with any person who did not consent or was unable to consent, or was being forced or threatened by you or by someone else. Not letting someone practice their religion. Causing harm or suffering to any person because of their race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any military or police unit? Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any armed group, for example, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, or guerrilla group? Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained, for example, a prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people? Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? Have you ever sold, provided, or transported weapons, or assisted any person in selling, providing, or transporting weapons which you knew or believed would be used against another person? Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training? Have you ever recruited, enlisted, conscripted, or used any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed group, or attempted or worked with others to do so? Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities, or attempted or worked with others to do so? This could include participating in combat or providing services related to combat. Include all the crimes and offenses in the United States or anywhere in the world, including domestic violence, driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and crimes and offenses while you were under 18 years of age, which you ever committed, agreed to commit, or asked someone else to commit. Were arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official, or immigration official. Were charged with committing, helping commit, or trying to commit. Pled guilty to. Were convicted of. Were placed in alternative sentencing or a rehabilitative program for, or received a suspended sentence, clemency, amnesty, or pardon for, or were placed on probation or paroled for. Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo les está yendo con la nueva N400? Recuerden que si les gustaría estudiar toda esta información, ahí está nuestro curso. En nuestro curso tenemos una clase con la nueva N400 en inglés y en español para que lo puedas estar estudiando y memorizando. Simplemente visita nuestra página cursosconfernando.com para que puedas adquirir nuestro curso y prepararte ya.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense? If you received a suspended sentence, were placed on probation, or were paroled, have you completed your suspended sentence, probation, or parole? Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempted to procure or import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any proceeds or money from prostitution? Manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country? Been married to more than one person at the same time? Married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? Gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? Made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States? Are you a person born as a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces? Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Si te gustaría informarte de cómo son las entrevistas en la oficina que a ti te corresponde, dónde tendrás tu entrevista, te invito a que nos sigas en nuestro segundo canal de YouTube, Citizens Ahora. En este segundo canal ponemos experiencias todos los días de diferentes partes del país. Puede ser que una de estas experiencias te dé información que tú necesitas para tu entrevista. Así que no olvides, síguenos en nuestro segundo canal de experiencias, Citizens Ahora.